Hello, my name is Andrea Ramos, and today I will be showing you how to make banana nut bread. So first, what we will need is 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. We are also going to be using 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda. We're going to be using a teaspoon of vanilla extract. For white and brown sugar, we will be using half a cup. We are going to be using a cup of walnuts, an eighth of cinnamon, an eighth of a teaspoon of cinnamon, and an eighth of a teaspoon of nutmeg. We're also going to be using an egg. Any kind of egg will work. We're also going to be using a 1/4 cup of milk, 1 cup of melted butter, or you can just use 1 stick of butter. We're going to be using 3 bananas, and we're going to be using this ham to spray it down. First, what we are going to do is we are going to preheat our oven to 350 degrees. So now we are going to grab one of our mixing bowls, and we're going to get our flour. We're going to grab our baking soda, and we're going to get 1.5 teaspoons. So 1 teaspoon, then half of the other one. Then we're going to get both of our sugars, our brown and our white sugar, and we're going to pour it in as well. And I put in my cinnamon and my nutmeg in one small container together, but you can put them in 2 separate containers. Now we're going to grab our whisk. We're just going to whisk everything together until everything looks all well combined and together. For visual representation, it should look something like this. So we are going to grab our other mixing bowl now, and we're going to get 3 of our bananas, and we're just going to peel them open. After we have peeled all of our bananas, we're going to grab one of our forks, and with our fork we're just going to mash the bananas inside the bowl. Once all of the 3 bananas are mashed, what we're going to do next is we are going to grab our butter, and we're just going to pour it in. And then we're going to put in our milk, our egg, and then we're going to get 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now, with our spoon, we're just going to mix all of that together. Once you've mixed all of that in, we're going to grab our little teaspoon again and get our vanilla extract. And we're just going to grab a teaspoon of it. Then just mix it in with everything else. So now we're going to grab our dry ingredients, take out the whisk, and we're going to put in our wet ingredients into our dry ingredients. And put this bowl aside for now. We're going to grab the same spoon that we used before, and now we're just going to start mixing them together. One thing though is whenever we're mixing this part, we're not going to over mix it. Once we see everything is all together and combined and you can't see any more of the dry ingredients, we're just going to stop mixing it there. Because if we were to overmix this, the batter wouldn't rise properly and it wouldn't be good if you were to put a little bit inside the pan. So once you have finished mixing it, you should see no more of the dry batter and it just should all look something like this. So now we are going to grab our walnuts and we're going to put about half of them in. And we're just going to fold them over. We're not going to be mixing in the walnuts, but more likely we're just going to be folding it, as where we grab part of the bottom and put it over top in the batter. So until you can barely see any of the walnuts, we're going to stop there. So now what we're going to do, we are going to get some of the Pam, and we're just going to spray down our container so whenever we take them out, the bread doesn't get stuck. We're also going to spray the sides of it. Now what we're going to do with our batter, we're not going to fill it all the way up, but more about 3/4 of the way in the container. So we're going to do, you can just do this, bring the container over and put it in. Or if you want, you can just, This one is a little more faster than trying to scoop it in with the spoon. And once you think you have enough, you're going to get it and just pat it down a little. Needs a little bit more. And once you have filled it about 3/4 of the way, we're going to get a little bit of the walnuts and just sprinkle them on top. It's supposed to look like this once you have it in. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get our little trays and put them in the oven. And for this part, we're going to have to be very careful because the oven is going to be hot. So I'm going to be using oven mitts so I don't burn myself. I'm just going to put them one by one. Now that we have them in there, we're going to leave them there for about 22 to 26 minutes, depending on how many you have made and how full the batter is.